I stole something from my English tutor before. Oh my god, this is probably my most well-kept secret until now. Okay. I don't know why, but I remember thinking at the time I was like, oh, this is such a cute what's it, like those sand turning things called? It was like a souvenir she got from a different an hourglass. I forgot the name. Yeah, it was like this like little plastic hourglass that was a souvenir from another student, and it went really fast. And then I remember at the time I was like, this is fun. And then I just put it in my bag, and then I just went home. And I didn't think that there was anything wrong with that. Well, I mean, I did it discreetly, but at the time I wasn't like, oh, this is so bad, I'm in so much trouble or whatever. And then, do I still have it? No. See, this is the part where I'm extremely smart. And then, wait, this gets even funnier. Now that I just remember. I was 10 years old. And it was the English tutor that my dad forced me to go to because he heard from the other Asian parents like, oh, she's really good at teaching English and shit. Fucking most useless lessons I ever had in my life, by the way. And it was so fucking awful. I hated that bitch. Okay, unrelated. This one time I went to her house. She had a giant Jesus portrait that was like hanging on the wall and it was framed. I don't know why, but like I touched it and then it fell and broke and I didn't. You're a kid, you're just like touching shit. I don't know why I was touching it. It fell and then I was like, stand. I just stood there. And then she also had this really big Rubik's Cube that was like, I don't know how much by how much, but it was this big and all the squares are really small. Me and my sister messed it up. Okay, anyways. So the hourglass thing. I've been going there for like a year now maybe, and then very cool, put it in my bag, went home. And then the next day I gave it to someone else in my class. I was like, here, I remember the name. I gave it to a guy named Wallace. And he was like, okay, cool. And then he put it on his desk. And then this other kid, no, that Wallace has nothing to do with the English tutor. Like, they're not gonna know where it was from. And then this other guy named Joey that went to the same English tutor was like, hey, isn't that hourglass from that one tutor, from the name of the teacher? I was like, yeah. And then Joey was just, he didn't really care. He probably thought it was funny. If I told him now, he's probably gonna laugh his ass off. And then, I guess Wallace took it home. And then, I think like a week after, the tutor asked me, it was like, did you take my hourglass? I said no. I lied so well because all the years of trying to secretly play MapleStory on the computer and then telling my dad that I was actually doing homework paid off. She was like, I saw you playing with it. Did you take it? I was like, no. No. Anyways, fuck that bitch. Oh my god, that brings me to another point. I don't know what is wrong with her, but like, she sat me in like one of the other desks, and then under the desk, someone wrote, I fucking hate this tutor, blah blah blah. I fucking hate her so much. She should just fuck off and die. And then she tried to say that I wrote that. I did not write that. No, I actually didn't. I think that must have been there before, and then she never saw it or something. It was Wallace? Wallace doesn't even know who she is. But I agree with the sentiment, yeah. I mean, my sister also had a book, or a little notebook where she wrote about how much she fucking hates her. Maybe it was my sister, I don't know. And then when she was handing in her homework, I think she accidentally gave it to her. And then she confronted my dad about the contents of the book. My dad honestly didn't give a fuck. And then, thankfully we stopped going there. So, in summary, the Daffo household, have a book where they're just insulting the tutor nonstop. She's fucking horrible. She fucking sucks. Broke the Jesus frame, scrambled their huge Rubik's Cube, stole their hourglass. And then, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That was just such a shitty ass tutor place. Fuck that place. It was all she did was, the tutoring was like, she just made us do worksheets of like really old English grammar books. Who knows, maybe she's dead now. Lol. I don't know. All my tutors have been so trash. Or English tutors. I don't think math tutors can be bad because it's just, math is pretty, just objectively just practice and you'll get better at it. And then I went to another English tutor. And I fucking hated that one too. In I think the 2 years that I went there, I didn't learn a single thing. Like, yeah, she taught the structure of an essay should be like thesis, whatever, supporting statement, you know, the bunch of triangles, fucking supporting argument, whatever, blah, blah. But I never applied it because I didn't know how. And every time she would make us write essays in class, she'd make them read them out loud to like all the other kids, and it was just so awful because she would just openly criticize it on the spot. So what everybody did in my class, except for like 2 really try-hard kids, with that we would just write 2 sentences in that 20 minutes that she gave us to write. So that we would only have to read 2 sentences and be like, oh, that's all we got, sorry. How do I expect to learn though? I mean, the thing is, I ended up learning how to write essays just through my God-graced, amazing English teacher in high school. And I ended up winning a scholarship because of the provincial exam that I took, which was entirely essay writing. So I went from getting like 76% in English to 95 because God bless her soul. And that tutor did nothing for me because she actually like broke down when you're like, we would do like book studies, right? She would like break down everything really well. She didn't like subject you to open criticism in front of all your peers. And she, like, the tutor was very condescending too. So like, no shit, the kids don't want to fucking read out what they wrote, because she would just be like, why did you say that? No, you don't say that. That's bad. Don't do that, blah, blah, blah. So the people would only write 2 sentences. And also, she actually fucked over a lot of people by telling them that they should do all the subjects in high school, all the electives, so that they could apply university and get into whatever. And then ended up like fucking a lot of kids because telling them that they have to take chemistry, they have to take this and that and that, all 3 sciences, crazy amount of work. Because she used a bragging point. Her bragging point was that all the students that with her get accepted into university. Like, okay, dude. Have you considered that maybe the students that get accepted into university tend to have helicopter parents that put you into their class in the first place, and that they're already hard workers because they're going to fucking tutor after school? So no shit, they're gonna get accepted. Why'd you take stream education you never go to? Yeah. I think it's just her, she has like a really boomer mentality. I fucking hated that place so much. I wanted to die. Like, I wanted to fucking die every Wednesday because that would be when I had to go to that class, and I wanted to fucking die. I remember the car ride there, I would just be like, please just make every distance between every tree larger so it takes longer for me to get there. Fuck, I'm ready there. Fuck. That class gave me so much anxiety. I hate it. That is not how you should help your kids academically. That shit is awful. But then most parents that randomly enroll their kids into tutors don't even know shit. Anyways, as I got older, my dad was like, I told my dad, this is the worst class I've ever been in. Let me out. And then he finally did. Are tutors required? No, my dad just like put me and my sister in a fuck ton of tutors because he thought it helped. It definitely didn't, because me and my sisters were in the same tutor, and I was like honor roll student because I just worked hard in school. My sister was like a fucking straight C+, C-. Did it matter in the end? No, because because I ended up dropping out and she ended up finishing her school, her degree. Funny how the turntables. But yeah. And then my sister randomly ran into that tutor. And she was the one that brags about like all her students getting university, blah blah, whatever. The anxiety-inducing one. She asked how I was doing because she remembers the kids that she taught, which is kind of sweet. And then my sister said that I dropped out and stuff. And she was like, very clearly trying to be polite. I wasn't there, but she was like, oh, as long as she's happy, you know? In like that very like in the oh, I'm looking down on you for dropping out, but okay. Shut up, bitch. I am happy. I am now, but when I dropped out, no. A lot of your parents have helicopters and they go to Harvard. Yeah, my dad wasn't really a helicopter parent. But he kind of like grinded my sister and my life like an RPG. Like, oh, maybe if I just enroll them in all these fucking tutors, they'll just get like plus skill XP, plus skill XP. But then the reality was plus anxiety, plus resentment, plus anxiety, plus resentment, plus stress. I think when he saw that I did well for myself, I was doing really well in report cards and everything, he was like, okay, more lenient on you. I got my own computer, whatever, get to play on it whenever I want at home, because I always got my shit done. But if he was a true helicopter parent, he would not allow that shit. He would be like, that would distract you. You're not allowed to have that. Even though you're doing well in school, you still have to have all these extracurriculars, blah, blah, blah. So now you have to learn shit when you're young, you don't want to. When you're older, you actually want to learn. I mean, yeah, but then when you're young, the reason why, like, that's why they teach you so much stuff in high school. Like, all these things that you're probably never gonna use when you're 30 years old, like how to differentiate an equation. I think it's actually good, but I would draw the line at the point where you're taking on so much work that is stressing you and you have no social life to grow and to make friends or whatever. For example, like taking all 3 science electives. Learning all that stuff is really good because it kind of like lets you dip your toes in everything a little bit to see what you really like, and then if you do want to specialize in something, by the time you get to university, you learn the prerequisite for it, and it's pre-calculus or something. So that's why, like, really boomer teachers and counselors and tutors would tell you, oh, you should take all the biology, all the AP biology, all the chemistry, all the AP physics. And that's when you want to fucking die. So you should only do that if you really, like, if you think you can handle it. That's really stressful.